person I want to introduce you to is a man who is passionate about children playing with words and having fun with poetry. He was one of the first poets to go into schools and perform his poems, and children love him. His name is Michael Rosen, and he is a legend, a children's treasure. He was born in London just after the war, a boy who loved jokes and stories for sure, and when he grew up he wrote poems galore that made children laugh and snort and guffaw. A hip, a hop, a hip hop hap, introducing the Michael Rosen Chap.
Hello, I'm Michael Rosen, talking to you at this Children's Literature Festival. Later you're going to be hearing from Benjamin Zephaniah. Now, for the time being, I'm going to talk a little bit about poetry. I'll do some poems for you, actually. Let's start with Hand on the Bridge. I don't know whether you know that one. It's a rhythm and rhyme poem. It goes like this. Hand on the bridge, feel the rhythm of the train. Hand on the window, feel the rhythm of the rain. Hand on your throat, feel the rhythm of your talk. Hand on your leg, feel the rhythm of your walk. Hand in the sea, feel the rhythm of the tide. Hand on your heart, feel the rhythm inside. Hand on the rhythm, feel the rhythm of the rhyme. Hand on your life, feel the rhythm of time. Hand on your life, feel the rhythm of time. What? Hand on your life, feel the rhythm of time. So we're talking about poetry today, so that's a very rhythm and rhyme poem. But poems don't have to have rhythm and rhyme. They can do something else, which is repeat. Maybe you know this one. We sit down to eat and the potato's a bit hot. So I only put a little bit on my fork and I blow till it's cool, just cool, into the mouth. Nice. And my brother, he's doing the same. Till it's cool, just cool, into the mouth. Nice. And my mum, she's doing the same. Till it's cool, just cool, into the mouth. Nice. But my dad, what does he do? He stuffs a great big chunk of potato into his mouth, and that really does it. His eyes pop out. He blows, he puffs, he yells, he bobs his head up and down. He even, sorry about this, spits potato onto his plate. And then he turns to us and he says, "Watch out, everybody, the potato's really hot." Well, we knew that, didn't we? Now, in that poem, what did I do? I repeated things, didn't I? I repeated the till it's cool, just cool, into the mouth. Nice. Now, when you repeat things, it's a little bit like rhythm and rhyme because it gives you a shape for the poem. It gives you a kind of pattern. So that's another way to write a poem. So when people say to me, what is poetry? It's quite a hard thing to answer, but really a poem is something that these days is mostly quite short, certainly not much longer than about 4 or 5 minutes. It may have rhyme, it may have rhythm, it may have repetition, and it may be something that really matters. And it might matter because it's funny, or because it's sad, or because it's a bit intriguing, a bit mysterious. That's good for poems. And they don't have to solve everything. It doesn't have to all kind of end up with a conclusion like you get in a story. Poems can leave you a bit mysterious. Poems can be lists, lots of different things. And poems can be little stories. It's a posh word for that, an anecdote. So poems can be just anecdotes. We all have anecdotes. Our lives are made up of anecdotes. So poems are a great way to tell the story of our lives in little anecdotes, little things that happen to us. And when I was a boy, I had a favourite treat. And it was when my mum made chocolate cake. Oh, I loved chocolate cake. Yes. My mum, she says to me, "Listen, Michael, if there's any chocolate cake left over at the end of the day, you can take some to school tomorrow to have in the playground or maybe at the end of lunch." And so I used to go to school with a little box and there was chocolate cake inside. I know it's in there. And I'd be off to school, and then when I'd get to school, I'd open it up, and yeah, it was all covered in, I was just gonna get it open and turn it in. Oh, hang on, who's there? No, it's okay. And one time, there was some chocolate cake left over at the end of the day, and I went to bed. And I was lying in bed, fast asleep, fast asleep, fast asleep. And then, in the middle of the night, I woke up. Chocolate cake. Maybe I could go downstairs and have a little look at it. No one would know. It's not as if I'm going to eat any. I'm just going to have a little look. So out the room, shh, quiet. Mustn't wake my brother up. Along the passage, careful not to tread on the broken floorboard outside Mum and Dad's room, because if I tread on that and they wake up, I'll be in big trouble. So really careful. I trod on it. Did they hear? It's okay. Did they wake up? No, they didn't. On down the passage, downstairs, into the kitchen, over to the cupboard. Yeah, no, shh. I mustn't make a noise. And then take it out. It's the chocolate cake. Get it out. Yeah, I'm just going to look at it. I'm not going to have any. Yeah. I noticed some little crumbs on the plate, so I think I could pick up some of those crumbs. Yeah, hot. Yeah, and then I noticed some little crumbly bits on the side of the cake, so I think if I take a knife, I could just tidy it up a little bit, and then scoop together the crumbs and the sticky bits, and then into the mouth, yeah! Into the mouth. And then, as I've tidied it up a bit over here, I think maybe I could just even it up a bit over here. So I take the knife through the crispy icing on the top, through the squashy icing in the middle, and now I've got a whole slice in there. I mustn't make a noise, but now I've got the taste of chocolate cake in my mouth. I can't stop myself, so I go, yeah, I got the... Oh no. It's gone. Oh no, they're bound to notice now. Oh, chocolate cake doesn't just disappear. I'm going to be in such trouble. What am I going to do? I know I'll wash up the plate and the knife, put them away, and they won't know anything at all about it. Good thinking. Take the plate and the knife over to the sink. And the knife, get a cloth, dry it up. In the cupboard. And the knife, careful, health and safety, in the drawer, and then back up to bed. Yeah, along the passage, careful not to tread on that broken floorboard, because if I tread on it and they wake up, I am dead. Really careful. Did they hear? No, it's okay. Did they wake up? No, it's okay. And then along the passage, into bed, under the covers, nice warm feeling, chocolate cake in my belly, goody, goody, goody. I go to sleep. And in the morning, I get up, I'm having breakfast. Yeah, I'm having breakfast, and Mum is really busy. She's busy over here, she's busy over there. I'm having my breakfast, and she says, "Oh, Michael, don't forget your book folder." And she hands me my book folder. And then I carry on having my breakfast, and she's busy over here, she's busy over there. And then she says, "Oh yes, and there's something else nice. There's some chocolate cake left over from yesterday for you to take to school today." And I went, yeah, no, it's okay, yeah. And she went, "What's the matter? You usually jump at the idea of having chocolate cake." And I went, "No, it's okay, it's all right." And she's looking at me very closely, just here. And she points at it and she says, "What's that?" I said, "What's what?" She said, "It's not chocolate cake, is it?" And I went, "Hmm." And then she went over to the cupboard It's gone. The chocolate cake's gone. You haven't eaten the whole of the rest of the chocolate cake, have you? And I said, I don't know. You don't know? You don't know if you've eaten the whole of the rest of the chocolate cake. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. And listen, that's the last time you ever have chocolate cake to take to school. Do you hear me? And I said, I was very good at saying, Now off you go to school. No, before you go to school, go upstairs and wash your dirty, sticky face. And I went upstairs. I went to the bathroom and I looked in the mirror. There it was, just there. Dun, 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 dun. The chocolate blob, the chocolate smudge. And I looked at it and I thought, maybe next time we have chocolate cake, she'll forget about it. Do you think she will? So that's the story of the chocolate cake. And you'll see there, again, I had little repeaty bits, didn't I? The noises I made when I was eating the chocolate cake. But it was like a story. But of course, when you write a poem, you don't have to always write sentences. Excuse me. You don't have to write sentences. You can make it so that you can give the impression of something going on. And that's another thing that poems can do. And another great thing you can do in poems is exaggerate. Okay, so I sometimes say, when I arrive in a school, I say, I was born in the Stone Age. No, I was born in the Stone Age, about 3,000 years ago. I'm in fact 3,074 years old. And in the Stone Age, all we had was stones and rocks. At home, we didn't have a chair, we didn't have a table, we just sat on a rock, and then there was a big rock in front of us. Mum, it's really sore, it's really hurting my bum, Mum. And she'd say, shush, it's not the chair age yet. What? And then all we had to eat were rocks, stones, bits of chewed up, broken stone, that sort of thing. And Mum, I'm eating this and it really hurts. And she'd say, shush, eat your gravel. What? And then you go to bed, you'd be lying on a rock. Go to school, just the same thing. Sitting you didn't have a table or a desk or anything. You just sat on a rock, and then a big rock in front of you. And Miss used to say, take out your rock. And you take out a great big rock, and she'd say, write on your rock. And you had a little pebble in your hand. And that's the way it was. That was the Stone Age. And then suddenly, the Stone Age came to an end. Maybe you've got one of those wall charts at school where it says Stone Age, line, next age. What's that age? Plastic age? No. Paper? No. What's the next age? Never remember. Anyway, there's this line. Yeah, that's the way it was. We were just standing around, me and my friend Brian Harrison, we were standing around, and suddenly this big line came down. I said, what's that? And my friend Brian says, that's the end of the Stone Age, Mick. That's what he used to call me. That's the end of the Stone Age. And then we stepped through into the next age. So that's another way of writing, you see. That's exaggerating. I'll let you into a secret. I wasn't really born in the Stone Age. I sometimes feel a bit old. So I exaggerate. There's a special posh word for that as well. It's called hyperbole. So there we are. There's another way of writing. So when people say to me, where do you get your ideas from? Sometimes they can come from things that happen, like getting up in the night and getting the chocolate cake. Or it might be that I think of a little phrase like a rhythm, a hand on the bridge, feel the rhythm. So it can come from a rhythm, come from a rhyme, what rhymes with talk and walk, yeah, and bridge, and what rhymes with bridge, hand on the bridge, feel the rhythm of the rain, what rhymes with train, rain. So you can play with words, that's another way to get ideas, and then that exaggerating thing. So poems can come from all these different ways, and it's a really great idea if you want to write poems is to read lots of them by lots of different people, lots of different times as well. You can go right the way back to people like Shakespeare, who wrote about things like winter, when icicles, he wrote about icicles on the wall, wrote about all sorts of things we can relate to. And so you can go back in time, or you can read across lots of different cultures and countries, and you get ideas that way. You can also get ideas just from daydreaming, like this. This is me daydreaming. And that's a good way to get ideas. Just daydreaming and then write down what's in your daydream. Yeah, it might be a nightmare or it might be something quite funny. So that's it from me. I hope you've had a good time. And you know who's coming up now? The one and only and the great Benjamin Zephaniah.
The second of our lyrical luminaries I want to introduce to you calls himself poet, musician, writer and naughty boy. He was born in Jamaica, and when he was 9 he moved over to Handsworth, Birmingham, and when he was 10 he did his first poetry performance in the local church, and it was a hit. He soon had himself a following. Since then, he has become one of the most well-known performers of poetry across all the continents. Who am I talking about? The one and the only dub poet Benjamin Zephaniah. He uses his poetry as a tool for the fight against injustice. He demonstrates, he agitates, he protests. He's fired up, and he's also very, very funny. And so, with no more ado, I hand over to Benjamin Zephaniah performing some of his children's poetry specially for you.
I have a twin sister. I'm 15 minutes older than my sister. Some people think twins are born at the same time, but there's always one born before the other. My sister doesn't remember being born, but I remember it very well. And this is a poem I wrote to impress her. It's called Little Sister. That's my little sister, just 5 minutes old, already seeking something to bite and chew and hold. That's my little sister, already going bald. I can't just call her sister, so what will she be called? I want to call her Carol, but all carols are hymns. I want to call her Jimmy, but I always visit gyms. I want to call her Spotty, but she may punch my nose. I will not call her Rosie because she don't look like a rose. When I hear her crying, I want to call her loud. If she's the type for talking, I may call her a crowd. If she's good at singing, I'll call her Nightingale. But if she keeps on grinning, she'll make the doctors wail. The doctors call her Beauty, but Beauty is a horse. The nurses called her Cutie, being polite of course. My mummy and my daddy just don't have an idea. We don't have a name ready, but we're really glad she's here. This is a poem about my friend. We used to do so many things together, play football, go for walks, read poems to each other. Her name was Lily, but she couldn't stop eating. This poem is called Lily on a Diet. Lily licked a lolly, it made Lily so jolly. It got small so she bit it, and then she ate a biscuit. The biscuit got digested, Lily was so delighted, she went and celebrated with a cake her dad created. Yummy, 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 the cake went in her tummy. Lily went to her mummy, mummy gave her some money. She brought some ready jelly and put that in her belly. She washed that down with custard, chilled and cooled with mustard. When all that was done, she ate a currant bun, and when that bun was gone, she ate another one. And then a cup of tea made Lily so happy, she had to suck a sweet, and breakfast was complete. This is a poem about my first love. My true love. It's a poem about the woman I love so much. I get so fuzzy when I think of her. This poem is called I Love My Mother and My Mother Loves Me. I love me mother and my mother loves me. We come so far from over the sea. We heard that the streets were paved with gold. Sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's cold. I love me mother and my mother loves me. We try to live in harmony. Well, you can call her Valerie, but to me she is my mommy. She shouts at me, Daddy, so loud sometimes. She's always been a friend of mine. She's always doing the best she can. She works so hard down in England. She's always singing some kind of song. She has big muscles and she's very, very strong. She likes pussycats and she loves cashew nuts. She don't bother with no if and buts. I love my mother and my mother loves me. We come so far from over the sea. We heard that the streets were paved with gold. Sometimes it's hot, most time it's cold. I love her, and whatever we do, this is the love I know is true. My friends, I am talking to you. Me and my mother, ooh, we love you too. Who's who? I used to think nurses were women. I used to think police were men. I used to think poets were boring until I became one of them. The dinosaurs are back, working at Hollywood. Now they're not made of flesh and bone, they're plastic, foam and wood. The dinosaurs are here. I saw one on the bus as I was on the way to play. Dinosaurs are us. They came from Noah's Ark and to Jurassic Park, and when they ate, you can bet they done some great big barks. And from Jurassic Park, they came into our homes in big boxes of cereals with added rocks and stones. The dinosaurs are back with bottom, front and side. The ones I've seen look really mean and really very wide. These dinosaurs are stars. I've seen them on radars, looking cool and deadly as they drive around in cars. There's a man on the moon. He's skipping and stuff. There's a man on the moon. He looks really tough. There's a man on the moon. His wife is at home. There's a man on the moon and he's all alone. He's dancing around to real moony music. He carries his air. He knows how to use it. He waves to his wife. She's on planet E. She's waving back, but he cannot see. The man on the moon is so clever. He has some ideas to pursue. His chewing gum can last forever. His fast food is already chewed. There's a man on the moon. He has a spaceship. There's a man on the moon, and we paid for it. There's a man on the moon. His mission ain't done. There's a man on the moon. He's after the sun. Did you know that people need people? To walk to talk to cry and rely on, people will always need people. To love and to miss, to hug and to kiss. It's useful to have other people. To whom will you moan if you are all alone? It's so hard to share when no one is there. There's not much to do when there's no one but you. People will always need people. To please, to tease, to put you at ease. People will always need people. To make life appealing and give life some meaning, it's useful to have other people. If you want to change, to whom will you turn? If you want a lesson, from whom will you learn? If you want to play, then you'll know why I say, people will always need people. As girlfriends, as boyfriends, from Mumbai to Ostend, people will always need people. To have friendly fight with and share tasty bite with, it's useful to have other people. People live in families, gangs, posses and packs. It seems we need company before we relax. So stop making enemies and let's face the facts. People will always need people. Oh yeah, people will always need people. Oh yeah. Okay, imagine the planet Earth. All the fishes have gone from the sea. There are no birds in the sky. There are no animals. And all the armies have had their wars and there are no people on Earth except for me. And then I think I hear somebody in outer space and I want to communicate with them. I want to sell them the planet Earth. This poem is called For Sale. Looking for a bargain? Come on down. It's the sale of the century. Look around. There are sights to see and places to be with way out cosmic activity. This is a deal that you can't refuse. It's the kind of bet that you cannot lose. So come on down. The price is right. I've got to sell this thing tonight. Roll up, planet for sale. Roll up, planet for sale. Free of living things that roam. Free of people and ozone. I invite you to test my ware. Free of any atmosphere. Enjoy yourselves as you get poorly, with no sign of a creepy crawly. I promise you, you'll find no trees and no flowers to make you sneeze. Little Bo Peep has gone with her sheep, and little Jack Horner dissolved in a corner. That Donald Duck has run out of luck, and Paddington Bear is no longer here. The owl and the pussycat went to sea and then got lost in infinity. Alive, alive, no. Alive, alive, no. Cockles and mussels are not, and no snow. Looking for a bargain? Check this planet. Not a thing is moving on it. And just for you, I'll do a deal. I'll swap it for a decent meal. What month is it? What day is it? Nah, it don't matter. Just be nice to your turkeys this Christmas, because turkeys just want to have fun. Turkeys are cool and turkeys are wicked, and every turkey has a mom. Be nice to your turkeys this Christmas. Don't eat it, keep it alive. It could be your mate and not on your plate. Say, yow turkey, I'm on your side. I've got lots of friends who are turkeys, and all of them fear Christmas time. They say, Benj, hey Benj man, I want to enjoy it, but those humans have destroyed it, and those humans are out of their mind. Yes, I've got lots of friends who are turkeys, and all have the right to a life, not to be caged up and genetically made up by a farmer and his wife. No, turkeys just want to play reggae. Turkeys just want to hip hop. Have you ever seen a nice young turkey saying, amen, I cannot wait for the chop? No, because turkeys would like to get presents. Turkeys want to watch Christmas TV. Turkeys have brains and turkeys feel pain in many ways like you and me. I once knew a turkey. His name was Turkey. He said, Benji, explain to me please, who put the turkey in Christmas? And what happens to Christmas trees? I said, I'm not too sure, Turkey, but it's got nothing to do with Christ Mass. No, humans get greedy and waste more than need be, and businessmen make lots of cash. So, be nice to your turkeys this Christmas. Invite them indoors for some greens. Let them eat cake and let them partake in a plate of organic grown beans. Be nice to your turkeys this Christmas and spare them the cut of the knife. Join Turkeys United and they'll be delighted, and you'll make new friends for life.